You're listening to The Lindia Grant Show. Think on these things with Lindia Grant.
Good evening, Radio 1 listeners. It's good to be here with you this afternoon. It is Friday and a very special day in America. You're listening to The Lindia Grant Show, Spirit 1340 WYCB, here on Radio 1, the oldest gospel station in Washington, D.C., and it is the first contemporary gospel station in the United States. I'm telling you, I'm so proud. Today is our first official JuneTeenth holiday. I had bought something from Saks, some St. John slacks that were 70% off sale, and I needed to call them today about the jacket. And I'm telling you, they said, closed for the holiday. And I said, now, isn't that something? Plus, I got a call from Montgomery County Public Schools talking about they closed. They said that yesterday. We're closed. As soon as President Biden signed the JuneTeenth bill, they started calling everybody at home with the recorded robocall. So I just want to say happy Juneteenth to all the listeners out there. You all know it's been on TV over and over again. President Joe Biden signed that bill into law. And I knew about it so long ago when I worked at the African American Civil War Memorial with Councilman Frank Smith. We always talked about Juneteenth because, as you all saw, the black soldiers drove into Galveston and let them know this thing is these people been free for 2.5 years, and y'all still got them on here as slaves. What is this? So I just want to welcome everybody to the Lindia Grant Show and hope that next year you will decide what it is you want to do in honor of Juneteenth. It is when everybody in America who were once enslaved knew that they were free. Some of them might not still know it. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm just joking. We have as our special guest today vocalist and songwriter, I call her singer-songwriter, Lisa Bellamy Fluker. She has a new release called What Will It Take? And then it has Nothing But the Spirit, a gospel radio singer, a single. I want to say hello to Lisa. How are you today?
Hi, how you doing? I'm doing so good, and thank you so much for having me.
All right, it's good to have you here. We have the whole show because I want to remind listeners that Dr. Julianne Malvo is still in San Francisco. She told me she'd be gone for a few weeks. In fact, she may not be coming back. I'm not sure yet because she has accepted a position in California. So I'm probably going to be doing the entire show with my guests from here on out for a while until we come up with a new format. So I want you all to know that I have known Lisa for almost 20 years, I'm sure. We had her come and sing for the African American Civil War Memorial, and that's when I found out what a wonderful singer she is. She and some other singers that were referred to me, and I have used all of them, and I wanted to congratulate Lisa and thank her for being our guest today. Lisa, tell us a little bit about you. I know you live in Connecticut now, and I'm going to just give them your bio first, and then I'll ask you first question. Lisa Bellamy is an Arlington, Virginia native. She began her formal training at the prestigious Duke Ellington School of the Arts right here in Washington, D.C. I hope that you told them to listen, where she enriched her gift for song with a classical foundational technique that supported her love for the soulful roots of gospel music. At the Shenandoah Conservatory of Music in Winchester, Virginia, Lisa fine-tuned her vocal prowess, allowing her to now infuse classical techniques, jazz, and gospel into her praise and worship music. Lisa is a song stylist, writer, motivational speaker, and certified trainer who has kept the music at the center of her heart by combining a mixture of family-inspired gospel with a depth of spirit and passionate truth. Her virtuoso voice has taken her abroad to performances in Germany, Switzerland, and a tour of France with famed singer Liz McComb and the late Edwin Hawkins, one of my favorites. Lisa released an impressive debut album, Lighthouse, in 2004, and she is now releasing a timely 6-song EP called What Will It Take? So, Lisa, welcome to today's show. Tell us, how in the world did you end up all the way in Connecticut? That wasn't in your bio, but that's the first thing I want to know. How are you now not in Arlington and in Connecticut?
I am. Well, I miss you all so much. Arlington is my home, and I remarried and then, in accepting that proposal, joined my amazing husband, William Fluker, who is my best friend, 11 years now. So I've been gone from Virginia for 11 years, but I come back regularly, because all the family's there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, good.
Yeah.
So how do you like Connecticut?
I love Connecticut. I love the people. The north is a little different from, Northern Virginia. And even though it's Northern Virginia, of course, we have a lot of Southern influences. And so some of them, just getting used to how people engage here. It took me a minute, but I have beautiful friends here. I have a wonderful church home at Grace Worship Assembly. Pastors Ron and Stephanie Hammond are my pastors, and I love it. I love the people. Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me, I want the people to know that you just graduated and got your Ph.D. of all things. I'm telling you, that's a dream I have. I'm 70 years old, and somebody told me, Lindia, forget about it. You're too old. But I figure as long as you still living, you can go to school. I may just do it. But talk to us about it, and then we're going to hear a little bit from your first, we're going to hear 3 songs today, but we want to hear a little bit about it. But talk about going back to college.
I have had a love for music all of my life since the age of 9. But as I, left home after attending Duke Ellington School of the Arts and went to the Conservatory of Music in Shenandoah in the Winchester area, I studied psychology and, graduated with a bachelor's in psychology, and it took me into the world of service where I began my career. And I fell in love with training and, helping those in underserved communities get skills and get employed. I just fell in love with that. And so as I continued on and got my master's in educational leadership and management, in between that time, I worked and really advanced my career and ended up starting my own firm. So I ran my own consulting firm and training firm for many years, 28 years or so, and I really, truly saw the immediate gratification of helping and growing individuals. And so that career, after getting the master's, I said, you know what? I need to go ahead and finish this because I've been in the career for such a long time. I want to begin to put some of my research in books and workbooks for women. That's my passion. So that's really what drove me, the desire to pour into other women, which I do on a regular basis now. Not so much these last 3 years as I normally would because I was just trying to finish up the dissertation, but I'm so ready now that we're prayerfully on the other side of COVID to begin to use that degree and put out some materials and with my heart is to empower women.
Well, Dr. Lisa Bellamy Fluker, congratulations.
Thank you, Lydia.
It's so worthy. Now, tell us how the idea came for your new CD before we hear the first little bit of first song.
Wow, that's a great question. What Will It Take has its roots way back to 2010, Lindia. In 2010, had written several songs that the Lord had given to me at that, actually 2009. I wrote series of songs. And then God said, not right now. My husband proposed. I moved to Connecticut. And do you know, for now, 11 years, I just basically held on to those songs. And one of the songs was Wake Up America, and What Will It Take was recently written. But the whole idea is when I realized Wake Up America, stop reading through color lines, my husband said, this is the time, and the Lord had already spoken to me saying, you need to release this music. And that had to do with all of the unrest and the hate expressed in the world and just everything that was going on. The Lord has already spoken to me, and my husband confirmed it and said, you have to do this now. So I released first, I released Wake Up America as a single, and then Nothing But the Spirit. Mm-hmm. And so What Will It Take is about, what is it going to take for us to really make we've had so many signs. We have lots of tragedy, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, but we don't seem to learn, to really hit the stop button and really start doing things differently. And so that's really what the Lord spoke to me. And every song on this record is for that purpose. It's prayerfully transformational.
Well, let's hear a little bit of the first one now. What will it take? And you can let us know if you want to hear a different one as we go, Lisa. But I just chose some because I don't know any of them. All right, Alicia, let's hear one of the first songs. Beautiful, Lisa. We need to hear all of that. That is so nice. This is why I wrote on Facebook, this girl can sing, y'all. Oh, I love your voice, Lisa. So good. You over there chasing psychology, but you need to be moving to California and acting like Quincy Jones. You got to go over there and follow your gift. I'm just cutting up because I love your voice so much.
Thank you. I love worshiping God, and I believe, He's going to do what He's going to do through me. Amen. And I do believe He's going to provide,
yes, He will. He will. It's going to come. All you got to do is keep walking by faith and not by sight. Your gift is going to make room for itself. You're listening to the Linda Grant Show. We're getting ready to go to a commercial break. We're listening to Dr. Lisa Bellamy Fluker, and a singer-songwriter. We're going to hear some of her new music. We'll be back in a moment.
If it wasn't for my care coach at AmeriHealth, I probably wouldn't be so healthy right now. As a man, we don't get checkups or see a doctor regularly anyways. It's probably just a man thing because none of my partners go either. We know we should, but we just don't, and hope it works out.
So what changed for you?
AmeriHealth assigned me a care coach, somebody that gives one-on-one help, answer questions, explain things, and help set my appointments. She also helped me understand what having high blood pressure really means and ways to manage it so it doesn't kill me. It ain't nothing to play with. If you're a member of AmeriHealth, ask for a care coach. I'm glad I got mine.
At AmeriHealth, if you need a care coach, you can have one. Just call us at 1-877-759-6224 to get connected. 1-877-759-6224. This program is funded in part by the government of the District of Columbia Department of Healthcare Finance. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
I'm Latrice, the receptionist at the malpractice law firm Jack Olander & Associates. I answer the phone when you call 202-879-7777. Our experienced malpractice trial lawyers, Jack Olander, Harlow Case, Sandra Robinson, and Melissa Ray, are assisted by Dr. Robert Chabon, our of-counsel pediatrician and lawyer, and by our in-house nurse attorney consultant, Leslie Zork, who was a labor and delivery nurse for 10 years. Since Jack Olander won the first multi-million-dollar cerebral palsy case in the country, we concentrate on cerebral palsy and other major injury malpractice cases. You can reach us at 202-879-7777 or jhopc@olander.com. We'll look forward to your call.
Washington Informer religion columnist Lydia Grant.
Who Moved My Cheese is a book about two types of people, those who accept change quickly and move on, and those who hem and haw and try to figure things out. They didn't see change coming and waste valuable time trying to figure out what happened, how did this happen to me. Let's call this group procrastinators. The lesson inside the cheese story is simple. Life is change. Gerther said it best when he said, if I accept you as you are, I will make you worse. However, if I treat you as though you are what you're capable of becoming, I help you become that. We must change and keep moving. The Bible tells us to seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open unto you, ask and it shall be given.
Read more in the religion column of the Washington Informer, an award-winning African-American newspaper. We don't report crime or gossip, just positive news. Pick up the Washington Informer or visit us online at washingtoninformer.com. Call 202-561-4100 for more information.
Well, you're listening to the Lydia Grant Show, the first celebration of Juneteenth. Had I known it would be Juneteenth, I probably would have scheduled Lisa for another day, and I would have had some historians on here. But you know what? It is what it is. We listened to this songbird today, and happy Juneteenth to all of you all out there in America. It's such quite a celebration. A lot of us didn't even know what Juneteenth was. Some did, some didn't. But American blacks was set free January 1st, 1863, when President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. But the folks down in Texas ignored that and just kept the folks working, and the slaves didn't know. How did they know? So they found out when the colored soldiers, the U.S. colored troops, rode into Galveston, Texas, and let them know slavery is over in America. So that was on June 19th in 1865. So thank the Lord for that. So we are here now talking to our special guest today, Dr. Lisa Bellamy Fluker. We are talking to her about her new release. We want to hear another one of her songs, and then we're going to talk some more to her about, I want to talk to her about Duke Ellington after we hear another one of her songs. Lisa, I want to know how in the world did you go about doing your having the CD done during the pandemic and graduating? Talk to us about how you did juggle all of that.
Wow. And I worked full time for
wow.
A health system here, and I have to say it had. And I know it was the strength that God gave me to pour out to others, because I believe for those that he has called, he equips us. And I would continue to read my scriptures and meditate and ask God, use me during this time, because so many people were losing members, friends. I lost many friends and family, but God kept showing me, pour the word into yourself, pour it out, continue to use the gift that I've given you, and I will give you the strength. And do you know, through ailments and health challenges myself, it almost felt like I had a supernatural level of energy, and I know it had to come from God.
That's right, because he will do what he needs to do for those of us he's given assignments to. That was your assignment, and you got it done.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, working, going to school, getting a PhD, working on a dissertation, that's a lot of responsibility. And coming up with beautiful music like this. Tell me about the recording studio. I'm curious because I'm a Diana Ross fan, and I just saw on Facebook recently that she made a new recording while she was home from her home studio. She has a new album coming out that's already out.
Wow, I can't wait to get that. She's one of my favorites, but I love her, and we do have a home studio here in our home. God has been good to us, and my husband, William Fluker, is, he's a master trumpeter, and he plays all instruments, but his primary interest.
Oh, so you did like Diana Ross. You had it done, because she did it in her home. So that's what you did. Praise the Lord. Thank the Lord. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
I love
it. This amazing husband of mine who knows how to operate all of the equipment. So he installed it, and he surprised me with a booth recently and built a brand new booth. So, I definitely am humbled that I get to record right here.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Well, Lisa, let's hear one more, and then I'm going to tell you to let people know how they can get your album, buy your music, and support you. Lisa, I want you to come down and sing at our church. I believe my pastor will say yes, because I just got to find out when, because we're going back to church, All Nations Baptist Church, on July 4th. That's 4th of July is a Sunday, and that's our first Sunday back at the All Nations Baptist Church. So somewhere along the line, after we get back inside the house of God, I'm going to see if we can get you to come and sing for us one Sunday. I would love that.
So honor for you. I would come right home very quickly. So all you have to do is call me. Looking forward to that.
Well, tell the listeners how they can get your music.
Well, they can support right online by on all digital outlets. So if folks like to stream, they can stream on Spotify. They can look up the EP on iTunes, Deezer, all of the digital outlets, iHeartRadio. And if they would like to reach me directly, they can go on my Facebook page, which is, I have a Lisa Bellamy Fluker page, but I have an artist page that's just Lisa Bellamy. And if they want to send me a message, they could do that. Or they can email us at Inspire Music Group. That's NSPYRE, Inspire, spelled a little different, inspiremusicgroup@gmail.com, and we can send you a QR code, and you could scan it and order it that way, or just make an order with me. I just got 200 CDs in. I had to reorder. We sold the first batch in about 2 weeks.
Wow, that was great.
Yeah. So looking forward to sharing it with more, people.
Well, give us your closing comments. I thank you for being my guest today. We only have about a minute.
Well, I just want to say for every artist that knows that God has planted something in them to not give up, because I've been on this journey for over 30 years, and God has never, ever failed me, and I have grown along the way, and I just, would just like to encourage any artist to keep pushing forward.
Amen. Dr. Lisa Bellamy Fluker, thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you, Lindia, for having me.
All right. Well, next week, I'm celebrating my 11th anniversary.
2 minutes.
Being on Radio 1. I have started this radio show 11 years ago in memory of my mom. I know I don't do as much on diabetes as I used to. I really, when I first started the show, I had so much on here about diabetes. But I came on the air on June 8th, and so I wanted to do a show. Dr. Gail Nunley Bland, who is the head of endocrinology, she does a lot with type 2 diabetes, type 1, high blood pressure, weight control, help you get your A1C under control. But she's going to be talking about the psychology of living with diabetes next week. I said I wanted her to talk about the psychology of it after she gives just a little bit of background.
1 minute
because
left.
It's hard for us to stay on the diet that we're supposed to stay on, and she's going to be discussing the psychology, how we got to control our thinking. So in memory of my mom, Minister Fannie Estelle Grant, who died from complications of type 2 diabetes on Christmas Day in the year 2000, tune in next week. My mom is my Christmas angel. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Read my column in the Washington Informer newspaper. Give us a call at 240-602-6295. I've already invited you to join us at the All Nations Baptist Church. Call our church at 202-832-9591. Our pastor is Reverend Dr. James Coleman. Words, thoughts, and deeds have a boomerang effect.
10 seconds.
So be careful of what you send out. Scripture says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. So think on these things from the Lindia Grant Show. I'm your host, Lindia Grant. Happy Father's Day to all the men out there this weekend. Good day.
Thank you for listening to the Lindia Grant Show. Think on these things with your host, Lindia Grant.